Namaste, welcome everyone. If I haven't met you before and if I haven't practiced with you, my name's Meg. Thank you so much for jumping on. I have been promising a new Yin Yoga class for quite a while, but I wanted to move into my new space first before I did any filming, so I'm so grateful to be in this space right here, right now. Especially with what's going on at the moment with the world, we have actually been given such a beautiful gift. We have been given space and time and stillness to be able to give back to ourselves, to be able to nurture, to be able to turn back to self-care, and to be able to sit and be still. It is such a beautiful time to rediscover ourselves, to really use this time to see what we can do to learn and to grow. So I wanted to share with you a passage from one of my favorite books, and it's The Tao Made Easy from Alan Cohen, originally from Lao Tzu's teachings over some 2,500 years ago. It goes like this: sometimes you can change the environment, always you can change your mind. If you can change your environment from a sense of positive vision, you will succeed. Remember to work toward what you want rather than against what you resist. All metaphysical teachings tell us that the world we see is a projection of the thoughts we are holding about it. To attempt to change the world without changing your mind is tantamount to making a run on the screen in a movie theatre and trying to force the images to do something different. If you want to see a different movie, you must change the film and the projector. The film is your thoughts, the screen is the world. Insert a new film and everything you see on the screen will be different. So namaste and welcome. Let's get started into our practice today. So our first shape today, we're not going to use very many props today. We're actually just going to come into a child's pose or a melting heart. And I always like to offer both options here because melting heart pose can place a lot of strain on the shoulders. Now, especially if you're holding on to any tension around the neck and the shoulders, or have found that you've been feeling a lot of fear with what's going on. We're going to hold that in our shoulders. It's linked in with our heart chakra. So if melting heart pose for you doesn't feel right today, please just come back to here into your child's pose, Balasana, and you can rest your forehead on a bolster, you can use cushions. So at home, I don't like to use too many props because we don't have all the things, so cushions. If you don't have a block, a book is a really great idea as well, but this one will be pretty much minimal props. So if you are coming to melting heart pose, bring your hips above your knees and start to walk your hands right out in front of you and start to drop your heart space down to the ground. Now again, you can slide a cushion underneath your chest here. So say for example, using a bolster here, you can actually rest here using the cushion. Again, options are just letting your forehead rest down, your cheek to the side, or some people might even like to get their chin on the mat as well. It is not about forcing. We're coming down into this pose to surrender our heart space down, to let go of anything that no longer serves us here. So I invite you now to just melt into your practice wherever you are, taking this first shape, just to tune in, to notice how you feel, whether you're in a child's pose or whether you're here. What's going on for you right now? Allow yourself to become the observer of your thought, without attaching or naming it, without judging yourself or criticizing or thinking you shouldn't be here. Can you just observe? Allow yourself this time and space and compassion. Too quickly, we run through our minds with so many emotions and feelings, and we try to push them away because sometimes they don't feel that great. Yoga teaches us to stay. Yoga teaches us that the ride is up, but it's also down. Yoga teaches us to sit when things get uncomfortable. Yoga teaches us to really dive in and ask the question, what is it that you're here to teach me? Or what can I learn? So as you soften this area down to the ground physically, I want you to try and soften and melt your shoulders. Let go of any tension in the upper back, the mid back, the spine. And notice this beautiful connection of the heart space as it draws towards the earth. Coming back home, back to nature, back to our true selves. As we stay here for another 10 breaths, use your inhalation to draw into your mind, your body, and your emotional body what it is you would like to feel when you leave this session. And on your exhale, give yourself permission to let go of any stuck and old energy that doesn't serve you anymore. Noticing your breath now, your prana. Start to create a little space in between the bones, the fascia, connective tissue, the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles, the skin. Notice how it spreads through your internal landscape, and what can the breath bring with it today? And then what can it release? You have 3 more rounds. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. If you're in a melting heart, slowly and always slowly in Yin, engage your core and just press yourself gently back to meet in a child's pose. There is no right or wrong in Yin Yoga. We drop the need of the way for it to look aesthetically, and we come into a space of feeling. What does it feel like to be in a pose? Yin is the opposite to push. We're working with the feminine energy, the soft energy. It's supple, it's creative, and it's soft. Take a breath in and stay for your exhale. From here, we're going to find a very relaxed downward facing dog. So tucking your toes, and quite to the contrary to Yin Yoga, we just want to keep this very relaxed as we softly walk our feet towards our hands. We're coming into our Dangle Pose. Now, any props here are really useful. So you can use bolster, you can use cushions, blocks to stack up what you need. And you bend and soften into the knees. This is not about straightening the legs. Remember, it's the opposite, it's soft. We surrender the body down as we come to our fold. If this shape doesn't work for you, lie on your back and allow yourself to come into a supported shoulder stand. So the variation would be to come down to the ground. You can slide a cushion underneath your tush, or you can just allow the feet to lift up so the heels are stacked above the hips. Either variation is fine as we let the blood start to move down into the heart space, into the throat, and more importantly into our brains, starting to shift us into our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest. Too often, and even with the world as it is right now, it can be quite normal for us to really come into reactive mode, our stress state. There's a lot of uncertainty going on at the moment. There's a lot of people, including myself,
where we are out of routine and it can feel really ungrounding. We can find it hard to concentrate, we can feel anxious, we can feel stressed, we can feel like we're not sleeping and therefore our bodies suffer physically. We end up with things like bloating, poor digestion, we might be carrying a little bit more extra weight, our skin might be dry, our hair might be falling out. These are all symptoms of too much in our stress state. So Yin Yoga especially allows us to shift back into our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest, and when we shift into that system, this is where we heal. This is where our body says thank you. We're able to repair the tissues. We're able to work with the inner organs and allow our digestion to come back into flow. So as you're in this shape, allow yourself to breathe space down into the hamstrings, now the posterior chain. And let your spine dangle. Find space between the vertebrae. What does it feel like to be here? You have 5 more breaths in this delicious shape. A beautiful one for lengthening the hamstrings, especially if you sit. Our hip joint is a ball and socket, it is not a hinge joint. With too much sitting, it can become quite stagnant and stuck and rigid, causing many other problems upstream in the body. Everything is always about balance. Let go of any effort here. Take 2 more breaths. Surrender on your exhale. And again, inhale. Surrender on the exhale. And from here, we're slowly going to walk the feet out wide, allowing ourselves to sit down into our squat. Again, you are welcome to sit on a prop, bolster, cushion, block. If this shape also lifts your heels, slide a blanket underneath your heels as well. As we round our spine and we sink into our yin variation of Malasana. Just 10 breaths here. One of my beautiful, incredible teachers, Soisi Poseda, under the teachings of Ido Portal, they teach that we should be here for at least 5 minutes a day and to hang for at least 2 minutes a day so that we create space in our spine. We separate the vertebrae, we give ourselves an opportunity to decompress. And just pay a little bit of attention right now to your feet. If you notice that when you're in this shape, you are rolling inwards as in a medial rotation in the foot. What that is saying is that your hip joint is also doing the same thing. So shoes are a good culprit for that in the Western world, and of course sitting. So yin, especially this pose, helps us to open our hips. So notice how it is that your feet are on the ground and try to even them out. So you're on the heel and the 2 balls of the feet, and then soften down for another 5 breaths. Remember, yin should not be an effort. You should not be here being in pain. It is not about pain. If you check in, there is a space in yin called our edge. It should be uncomfortable, but it should not be sharp. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. I'm going to come forward to come out of this. Some people might like to go backwards. I always change. And wherever you are, just roll down onto your back as you take some time out to rebound, to allow yourself to feel all of that. Maybe bring your feet wide and knock your knees together. Maybe placing one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Breathe. This practice today is all about relieving tension in the hips, but also into the heart space. And it is designed to be a short practice so that you can also get on with what you need to do. We are going to come into one of my favourite shapes, and again, a cushion is fine for this, a block. We want to slide the prop, whatever you have, down a long ways, and we're going to support our mid-back. So as you lie down, you're going to lengthen your spine, one vertebrae at a time, down the length of the cushion or the prop that you have. We are also going to bring the soles of our feet together, the knees flop out to side, Baddha Konasana legs, so butterfly legs. What we are doing here is opening into the hips, allowing them to soften and flop out. If your groin and your hips and inner thighs are tight, they are going to automatically want to pull inwards. You can support the outside of your knees with cushions or blocks or whatever you have around. You might have an animal that might get underneath one of those knees. And then let your shoulders melt over the bolster, so like ice to water. The palms face up and allow yourself to now just be. Come back to breathing in how it is you would like to feel when you finish this practice. And breathe out, what can you release? What's stuck? What is it that's not needed anymore? It's not about not feeling it. It is not about feeling emotions and pushing them to the side. Allow yourself to listen to the teaching of the emotional feeling. And when we've held on to it long enough, when we've got our teaching, then give yourself permission to let it go. You are now here. Remember, we cannot change the environment sometimes, but we can change the way we see it. Gently returning back to your breath. Nothing matters now but this moment right here. Let yourself completely surrender. As you start to send a signal from your brain to your hips and your shoulders to let the connective tissue and the fascia gently let go. To loosen its grip around your muscles. To create space not just in the physical body, but also in our minds. Ten more breaths here, just to be. Let yourself dive into another 3 beautiful, delicious, long breaths here. One more breath in and let it go. Gently gathering your knees with your hands. Just push the prop out from underneath you, coming back down to your back. Notice what it feels like as your whole upper body surrenders to the earth. The weight of the shoulder blades on the ground, the backs of the shoulders, this more natural position that sometimes in the modern Western world we don't get the opportunity to let our shoulders roll back and our heart space become open. Take a breath in. Open the mouth and let it go. I'll let the arms go out to a T. Keeping the feet hip distance, just roll the knees to the left as we come into a very easy supine twist. If you would like a little bit more down the outer hip and the ITB, you can lift up your left ankle and place it on your right knee. But if that is too intense, just stay where you were. Just 3 breaths here. Sweeping in your inhale, really fill up. Stay for your exhale. Unhook the foot if it was on top. Use your inhale to brace your core, bring the knees back to center. Use the exhale to let the knees just flop to the other side. Again, lifting up that right ankle, placing on the left knee if that feels good. And slowly allowing that delicious twist to just take over here. We're not forcing, we're just letting be. Two more breaths. And breathing in. Let it go. Unhook the foot. Slowly bring the knees back to center. You might want to just give your knees a gentle squeeze, or if you're after another hip opener, coming into your happy baby pose. You might want to rock side to massage the back of the kidneys, the spine, or you might just want to stay still. This next shape is the most important out of the lot. Allow yourself to hang out in this shape for as long as you can as you move into your Shavasana. Allow the legs to extend, the palms to face up. Try not to skip this pose. This is what yoga is about. Allowing yourself to surrender to being still. And this is the practice. Now, being that this is only a short practice for you guys today, I truly invite you to stay if you have the time. For those of you that are staying, I wish you well. Namaste. If you need to get on with the rest of your day, please take your time here.
May you start to wriggle your toes and your fingers. Start to move your neck very gently side to side. As you really feel this beautiful body of yours just ease into this next breath. And surrender on the exhale. Take a moment to thank your body, to really feel into gratitude and appreciation for this amazing body of yours that was able to just do what you just did. When you're ready, just gently roll to your left or your right side, depending on what you need. And just take a moment to curl in a little ball. As in this space, give yourself permission to invite in a little love, to invite in a little compassion, and to invite in whatever it is that you need in this space to bring with you forth this afternoon, this morning, whenever it is you're practicing. And I invite you to share it on to someone. We are all here to give back. We are all here to serve. So who can you help today? What can you do for someone? How can you make them feel? Slowly allow yourself to come up to seated. However you are seated is fine. There's no right or wrong. Close your eyes. Take a moment here to place your hands down or up and take a beautiful, deep, nourishing breath in. And open the mouth on the exhale, let it go. Bringing your open palms into your heart space as you honour this place of oneness that we all share. A place of unconditional love. A place where we are not separate. Bring your thumbs gently towards your mouth as you honour the words that you speak, for they become the house you live in. And then your thumbs gently to the third eye as you honour and pay attention to your thoughts, your choices, your reactions, and your decisions. For it is here where we create the movie screen of our life. So with love and light and so much gratitude, namaste. Oh, thank you, and welcome everybody to my beautiful new space. I'm so grateful that you take the time out to practice to give back to you. Let me know what it is that you'd want to see on here too, whether it's a movement, whether it's young practice, whether it's into the hips, detoxification. Shout out, please like and subscribe if you can so that I can keep delivering these videos to you. And again, let me know how you went with that practice. How did you feel? And you know, what did it feel like in your physical, mental and emotional body? They are all interconnected, they are all one. We have our second round of the new way happening in a week and a half. No, not even, like 7 days. So round 2 of the new way starts really soon. I'll provide the link down below. We had 18 women join us on the first round of the new way with myself and Holly Coots, who's an Ayurvedic wellness coach. And we combine our love of Ayurveda and movement so that you can find some balance and grounding and stability here in these uncertain times. Jump on the link and have a look. It's lovely to spend today with you. Namaste.